Hi and welcome to episode number 637 with whatsforchild.com and the 7th episode of our Still Spirits Air Still series. This is part 2 of Making Rum. The wash has now been fermenting for about 9 days and the fermentation is complete. I have let it sit for a couple more days to settle. We're not going to clear this in any way whatsoever. Most of the yeast has settled to the bottom, and this is evident with the band across here. However, if you want to clear your wash, you're welcome to do that. The instructions were covered in a previous episode. The link is below. The first thing we're going to do is clear the tap. Yeast that has settled may have settled around the entrance to the tap, and we don't want this going into the distiller. So I'm going to collect about 300 mils of the wash. This will just be thrown down the sink. And this will clear any sediment that is lying at the entrance to the tap. There we go. I have put the boiling saddles and the distilling conditioner into the distiller, and we're going to open the tap and fill that up to the 4-litre mark. We've switched the distiller on, and in an hour or so the first drips will start appearing. Okay, it's been an hour and 10 minutes and the first drips are appearing from the nozzle. We're going to collect the first 25 milliliters to remove any acetone that has developed. We're not too worried about methanol, as this is a predominantly sugar wash and the methanol levels will be extremely low. The first 25 mils has dripped out. We're going to swap this beaker out for a new one. From here on, we're going to collect 100 milliliter batches until the distillation reaches a 20% ABV. Each batch will be measured and noted, and we'll keep these in order so that when we do our cuts and our blending, we can keep or discard the ones that we want to keep, and the ones that aren't making the grade will be discarded. The first beaker has reached 100 milliliters. We're going to swap that out and take an alcohol measurement of the first batch. Okay, the first batch has come out at around 66%. Okay, the first batch has finished distilling and we've ended up with 700 mils of distillate ranging from 66% down to 20%. What we're going to do now is taste each one of them and smell each one of them and decide which ones we're going to keep for the rum. That's our first one. Good aroma and very nice flavor. Even better, we're heading into the hearts now. Very nice flavor and aroma. Very good. Still in the hearts. Very nice. Still in the hearts. good flavor and aroma. You can definitely smell and taste the essence of molasses in all of these so far. On to number 5. Very nice. Number 6. There the flavor's dropping off and the aroma's dropped off a little bit, but that's still okay. Number 7. Very thin. Still has a good aroma, but it's very thin tasting, so we're going to exclude this one. The rest of them will go into the mix. And now that we know what we're going to keep when we run the second 4-litre batch, we'll know exactly where we are. All we'll do is run 600 mils and keep the first 600 mils for our rum. This last one does still have viable alcohol in it. So what we're going to do is add that to our next vodka run, just to recover the alcohol that's in there. Okay, the second run is complete, and I've placed 1.2 litres of rum into a glass jar. This is at around about 50% ABV. We're not going to dilute it at all at this stage. Before we continue, let me just quickly discuss the 4 different types of rum. You get light or silver rum, which is the most common rum used in mojitos. That is what this is. It hasn't been aged for very long, and it hasn't been oaked, and it's still almost entirely clear. Then you get gold and amber rum, which has been aged for a shorter amount of time in oak. And then you get the dark or black rum, which has been aged for a longer period of time in oak. And then spiced aged rum, like Captain Morgan, which is basically the darker rum which has been infused with spices. And what we're going to do over the duration of this course, we're going to oak age this, and then towards the end of the course we'll come back to it and we'll cover spicing the rum to make your own Captain Morgan. Now, to oak the rum, we're not going to put it into a barrel and wait for years. We're going to take a piece of European or French barrel oak. You can also use American oak. We're going to char it with a blowtorch. You only need to char the one side. And then place it in the glass jar with your rum. We're going to leave that for a good couple of weeks now, sealed tight, and let that mature and get some nice color and flavor from the oak, after which we will proceed to infuse the spices into the rum. Thanks for joining us today. Please subscribe, like and share, and we'll see you again in a couple of days.